Welcome in, folks, to one of our first episodes of Living in San Diego. I'm Henish Pulikal. I'm here joined by Mark. Mark, say hi.
Hello, Mark Abois. Nice to meet you all.
Mark, we're talking about San Diego's coolest places to live. And I've got my list, and you may or may not disagree, but we're going to go right into it for my top favorite places in San Diego. And number one has to be where I currently live with my family, and I've been living for the last 14 years or so, Pacific Beach.
Fantastic.
Okay, you spent some time there as well?
Yeah, I prefer the South End Mission Beach, which is still Pacific Beach, but yes, absolutely.
But you're a big surfer.
Okay.
And is it because you love the ocean there, or the restaurants and the shops there better?
I just like surfing there locally, and I've been doing it for quite a while. So
one of the benefits of PB is that it's next to Mission Beach. You actually can't even get to Mission Beach without going through PB.
You got that right.
So it's kind of the gateway to Mission Beach. Is definitely more of a tourist-focused place. It's a lot more transients and visitors and guests, which is great and stays busy. But I like PB because there's a lot more residents there. We've got 40,000 full-time residents, and on a busy weekend, do you know how many people come through on the July 4th weekend?
Maybe 500,000?
2 million people come to Pacific Beach.
Oh, wow.
On a busy weekend.
I had no idea.
On a regular busy weekend, it's about 1 million, and on just a regular weekend, it's about 500,000, about 500,000.
That's surprising.
So that's a lot, and it seems busy, and PB used to have a reputation of being like a big party spot, which it still is.
Yeah.
Right? But in 2009, something happened in San Diego. You know what that was?
People rioted and they stopped all drinking on the beach, which was good and bad in a couple of ways.
Correct, yeah. So, on the bad side, people couldn't go ape on the beach anymore with buried kegs and fraternity parties and jello wrestling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
On the plus side, that was right about the time where I was thinking about eventually having a family, and when we did, a few years later, when I asked my wife if we had to move to the suburbs, because the suburbs are kind of boring, which is fine if you like boring family lifestyle. She said, no, we can stay here because now people don't have to worry about our toddlers and babies getting run over by a drunken football party.
And there's a lot less like trash all over the beach too, which is a good, was a benefit as well.
True, less trash, and it's a lot more common. So now we can go there on any given weekend and enjoy the beach calmly. And if you're discreet, you can still get a drink in if you need to. Otherwise, just enjoy being at a beautiful beach.
Good point.
Right?
Yeah.
But there's so much more to PB, right? We also have access to Mission Bay. And Mission Bay is the world's largest man-made aquatic park. You know that?
I did.
Yeah. So we got 27 miles of coastline. It's like 4,600 acres. And we've got several islands in Mission Bay as well, right? This is all man-made in the 1950s by the Army Corps of Engineers. And it's this beautiful place where you can do sailboating, powerboating, paddleboarding, kayaking. Now you're seeing hydrofoils. On a windy day, you'll see kiteboarders out there. In addition, all the coastline there great for biking, running, rollerblading. There's a lot of beach for volleyball, for over-the-line practice. We got Fiesta Island where they actually have the world-famous over-the-line competition. There's a Boy Scout camp over there. There's lots of great restaurants. This Campland is over there.
Yeah.
So great place and a resource to visit. People come to PB thinking of the ocean and they forget about the bay, and the bay is such a treat. And it's a little bit different because there's no ocean there. It's no waves. So it's calmer for people that have small kids that don't have to worry about the ocean taking their kid out to the ocean because there's waves and stuff.
It's like a whole new world on the bay compared to the beach, even though it's just across the street. So absolutely.
Correct. Yeah. So it's like you get two hugely different vibes, which is like loud ocean waves and thrill seekers for surfing versus people that are okay with splashing in the bay. And it's nice and calm, and there's playgrounds and stuff for your kids.
Yeah.
There's lots of condos along there, but also one of my favorite spots. I lived overlooking the bay for almost 10 years.
Yeah, the bay's fantastic, and if it's a little bit chilly and onshore on the beach side, the bay side is particularly warm. So it's a hell of a nice alternative, to PB.
It's incredible. Yeah. So those are a couple of the reasons. More so, we got the thriving nightlife, right? There's some awesome bars in PB that have changed over, right? We've got Mavericks, which is our big club that has loud music and they do sports. It's also kid-friendly during the day. They got like giant Jenga and Connect Four and cornhole and stuff. Then you can bring your whole family in and hang out. In the evening time, you're gonna want to get your kids home because it's nighttime. They need to go to bed anyways. And then it gets turned up, right? Because there's places like Mavericks, there's places like Moonshine Beach. Shore Club, which is right on the ocean overlooking it. It's been crazy for years, and it'll probably continue to be crazy for the next several years.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about PB, and I live there with my family, like I said, is that you can take the good and the bad of it, and then, you know, with me, I do go out and enjoy those places during the day, but I'm home by 7, 8, 9 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
And that's when our family gets down, because I got little kids, and we miss that aspect of that gets wild. But for people that are younger and still want to go out, or more single than I am, then, you know, go out until 1:45 in the morning. So you're ready to go.
Definitely great nightlife, not my style, but it used to be way back when. The food has gotten way better, the atmosphere has gotten way better, and there's actually a couple of really cool speakeasies in Pacific Beach now as well.
Like which ones? Which one do you like?
You're putting me on the spot.
Oh, it's all like Grass Skirt?
The Grass Skirt is the one, and then they're opening up a new one that looks like a high-end 1920s ship on the inside.
I've already been in that one too. It's called Captain's Quarter.
Yep.
And it's right next to it, and they're both like hidden entrances.
And then me and a couple friends often we'll get hired lately to go DJ there. So pretty cool music as well, like different than what you expect in Pacific Beach.
I agree. Yeah, it's a cool spot. I like it, and one of the key reasons I like both those spots is they don't have TVs. So you're not. It's not like a sports bar. You're there to enjoy your company, to enjoy the food, to enjoy your drink, have a good conversation, and it's a little bit more grown up. Versus, you know, there's no shortage of sports bars in PB, which is great, but there's also nice restaurants too, like 710 and
Well, 710, which has really good live bands, often local bands, and then people traveling down into San Diego, and some old school, you know, rock and roll and punk from the past that are still together and, you know, performing locally.
They cleaned up a little bit. They've done a remodel there. It looks great. And then I was thinking Tower23 with JRDN, or some people call it Jardine.
Yeah, great food, great
incredible
drinks.
food.
You know, the view is probably the best. So
great drinks, great food, awesome view. I love that spot when guests come in, and we've got so many other places that have popped in. Water Bar that's popped in, Pueblo, Second Nature, up and down the board, up and down Garnett. There's no shortage of places. 2 meat pie places that popped up, which are pretty dope. So great food, great entertainment, dive bars, speakeasies. And can't forget that we often get the streets shut down for different parades, like the Santa Run, PB Beach Fest, and different things like that, where they'll set up stages throughout, and that's pretty incredible as well. And every Tuesday night, we've got a farmer's market.
Yeah, and which is kind of funny lately too, they've been allowing a lot of vendors over there by Belmont Park, and it kind of, sort of on occasion, has a little bit of that Venice vibe, for better or worse, and it's definitely been a lot more culturally diverse in that pocket of Pacific Beach than I remember in years past.
For sure, yeah, it's changed a lot, and now it's not just about partying, it's not just about going crazy. Families live there. You'll see strollers, you'll see kids, you'll see moms and dads. We've got good shopping, we've got good amenities. There's like a gymnastics place that have popped up for kids. There's all these other great amenities. All the schools are now getting 100% local, so I love it. We're not going anywhere. I told my wife that our current house might not be our forever house. She said that if it's not, it needs to be within 1 block of where we live.
Well, as long as you don't end up in Carmel Valley, you're doing great.
I 100% agree. The next top spot in San Diego for cool places to live, we've got North Park.
Got it.
And North Park has always been known for kind of like a hipster type vibe.
Yeah.
It's not as much of the yuppie stuff that you get downtown. It's not as much of the beach crowd that you get in the coastal areas, but you definitely get the guys that are, people are a little bit more fashion forward, a little more trendier music, and you don't get the big brand name stuff, right? Same with PB. You're not finding, Applebee's and places like that in these places, because they support local and they want more of these niche type brands where you're getting the cool coffee shops, you're getting the cool breweries, you're getting a lot of cool clothing vendors. They're having the festivals, they're having the music festivals, right? I was at one last week.
Ton of art, really good live music venues, some sort of speakeasy style bars that are kind of popping up that are really nice. Got the North Park Observatory for actually pretty big bands that come through, pretty good name bands. So
big name A-list bands come through.
Super walkable. It's like the less expensive Hillcrest.
Yeah. And it's a little bit warmer, right? That's the difference. San Diego's got so many different climate zones that PB could be cloudy and 70 degrees. You get over to North Park, it's 80 degrees and sunny.
Yeah, typically they're just past that marine layer line, which has been plaguing us this spring and will hopefully burn off soon.
Yeah, so North Park is awesome for that. Lots of community events. People love living there, and great choice if living in San Diego by the beach isn't a priority.
No, absolutely, and then the surrounding areas as well are really cool.
Yeah, I love that spot. You mentioned one of your favorite spots in North Park is called?
It is called Part-Time Lover, and it's a vinyl-only bar, and definitely a cool spot to go bring a date, as long as there isn't a huge line. If you like to buy vinyl records, it's only vinyl records being spun in there, and can generally have a really cool vibe before you end up at the club, or if the club isn't your thing, definitely a cool spot.
Have you ever been to any of those kava bars they got there?
Actually, no.
Okay, I've been to one of them, and I know there's two of them. Kava is a kind of a drink that's made out of a root, gives you a little bit of a buzz, and I've been there a couple of times just to try it out. And a lot of people go there are recovering alcoholics. They don't drink anymore, but they still like the sociability of going to a kava bar, getting a slightly weird buzz that only lasts 5 or 10 minutes. You can comfortably drive home, and it's cool. It's a unique drink. Definitely try a kava bar if you come to North Park, because the breweries are popular and they'll drag your attention. But for something unique, that's a cool thing to do.
For sure.
Hey, number 3. We know where we're going here, and it's Little Italy, right? Little Italy's downtown, just north of downtown, closer to the airport, close to the San Diego Bay. Lots of great restaurants, lots of great high-rises, mid-rises, apartments, condos, and yuppies like to live there.
Yeah, they made it very walkable lately since the pandemic. It's I look at it like actually the downtown of downtown, just because the gas lamp is really
Tourist district.
It's a
tourist
different
district,
area.
yeah.
Little Italy is got the kind of walkable downtown vibe, really great food, high-end chefs, and like I said, a very cool walkability to it, right near the harbor.
I agree. I think a lot of people, when they live downtown, they want to live in Little Italy.
Yeah.
And if they lived in downtown, they still want to live in Little Italy.
Yeah.
Because downtown is definitely, you get the pros of being like a tourist district with a gas lamp, and it draws a lot of tourism, especially because it's closer to the convention center, and you get all the convention center overflow pretty much on a daily basis, because there's always conventions going on.
That and the baseball park too.
The baseball park is there, so there's cool things about being next to downtown, but then having your own neighborhood where people actually live. There's lots of housing in terms of apartments and condos. And so, I say yuppie is not as a bad word because it stands for young urban professionals, right? So there's a lot of young urban professionals that live there.
Sure.
And you get the nice sushi spots and the craft and commerce and the Barbusas and all these cool restaurants that people have spent millions of dollars developing. So you go in and it's very Instagram worthy, right?
Yeah, I suppose that's a word.
The actual word is Instagrammable, I think.
Got it, yeah.
This is us learning though. But they have also the art studios there.
Yeah, a couple
Right,
of
they have the street fair there. They decorate pretty well during Christmas time.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
And so lots of good outdoor dining, and it's so close to the San Diego Bay that all those amenities are there too, like waterfront park. It's kind of more downtown.
Yeah, the city hall and the harbor are right there, and it's a really great place for food and just for a walk as well.
But then they also block off that place for big concerts and big events as well.
Yeah, I was just there. They do Crossed on the lawn, and then a couple smaller events here and there that are free of charge, but culturally dynamic, great music, etc.
Yeah, I love it. If you're only visiting San Diego, definitely go visit PV, go visit North Park, go visit Little Italy. If you like the vibe of the beach and the city, and you want that vibrancy of great restaurants and great community, these are 3 of the coolest places that you could live in San Diego.
I'd say you nailed it.
Awesome. Well, that's our time. We're going to dig into this more on future episodes of Living in San Diego, but I wanted to cover those real quickly so you can shortlist your coolest places to live in Central San Diego. Thanks for joining us.
Take it easy.